Hello, hello. So, this session, workshop, we're going to be looking at using Blender to make kind of like a focus on a smaller space with maybe a little bit more, well, maybe not, depending on how much time we have. But I'm going to be looking at some tutorials in the future with light mapping, light probes, and reflection probes. So we're going to be looking at a Blender space that sort of focuses on being able to explore those elements. So let's jump in, I guess. Cool. So let's jump into Blender and figure out what kind of space we want to make. So I'm not too sure. I was thinking like a gallery, but I think there's a lot of galleries. So the main thing I want to focus on is light mapping. So we're going to create, so using emissive to creating light, and also spotlights and other lights that Unity has. Light probes are just light probes, so I think we need a space that has different lighting, so like different emissive lights, and maybe different spotlights and point lights, so we can bake the light probes and see the differences there. The other thing we need is some reflection probes, so we'll be looking at different ways to show the benefits of like higher quality reflection probes and lower quality reflection probes, and things like that. So basically that's what we're going to be focusing on today, but this hour or so we're going to be focusing on just Blender and creating that asset. So this is a Blender day, I guess you could say. Just going to write a thing, one moment. All right. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we need a cool space for light mapping and reflection probes mostly, with lots of different variants for color. So what would be a good example of that, I wonder? Either way, first we need a floor. So I'm going to focus on sort of like a smaller space. A lot of builders are sort of creating really, really big environments. And the bigger it gets, the more optimized it needs to be in regards to quality. So you have to pull the poly counts down, the amount of textures lower, and light mapping as well has to be sort of lower quality because those textures are getting stretched over a larger area. So in this case, we're going to be focusing on a smaller area. So like a small club we could possibly do, or like a living room environment, or just like a hangout space, like a cafe. Oh, cafe could work, maybe. That would be kind of fun. But yeah, so that sort of space is what we would probably be looking at today. So now, as this is the floor, I can get rid of the base because we'll never see it. And that is flat. So that's 2 by 2 meters. And we need much bigger than that. So let's scale it up. Once again, holding left control to sort of snap. So that's 6 by 6. And let's change that to 6 by 8, I think. Eight-ish. Now over here we could do that using, where is it? This one, this one, this one, this one. Nope, this one, this one. One of the above. There we go. 8 by 6. Cool. What else do we want? Now we need some walls. Now when it comes to polygons, basically the normal direction is very important. So let's just go E and a couple like that. And that will be 2, which is too short. So we're going to use G, Z, and go up to 3 meters, I think. Cool. Now in Blender, it's easy to see where the normals are by sort of clicking on this and then going that one. And then you can see that that is facing outwards, and things like that, which is not what we want, because we need them all to face inwards. So I'm going to grab all of them and then go mesh, normals, flip. And then they are facing in and down and up. So these normals are in the right direction, which is what we want. Now, just to test this, I'm actually going to quickly unwrap it, and I want to get a feel for the space. I think this is very important when creating a space. I want to feel if this is too small or too big or what I want it to do. And because it's so easy to build a space in Mona, we can do that quite easily. So I'm just going to do a quick unwrap. So if I do want to add a material, I can do that. So 6 by 8 with normals on the inside. That's basically it. Now we don't actually have an asset yet, so I'm going to make a new build. Put the date, so 2022, 0531. Let's just call it space for now. I'm sure I'll come up with a better name later. And extract our folder here, and then just go space 01 for now, and that should do. Then we can open it up in Unity 2020.3.18. Open. Alright, so once we've opened the template, you'll notice that this is not the space. So we've opened it, but you do need to go load space scenes, and then we have that. Now in this space, I want a portal? I don't think so. We don't need one, so I'm going to get rid of that. So basically we have our space, we have our light, and we have a camera, which should not be there. But that's because of the original untitled scene. So I'm going to right mouse click on that and remove scene. So that's it. We have a floor, and we have our spawn point. Now this floor I'm going to get rid of because we're going to add our own. So let's see, export, FBX, selected objects. Actually, I'm not going to apply transform, I'm going to apply transform here. So click on it in object mode, Control A, and that will kind of reset the shape of this. Hey Lee, how's it going? I was thinking of doing the esports thing, but that's too big. This is a much smaller activity, I think. I do really want to do that, though. but I got to do the store first. This is a model. We're going to call this space. Once again, select objects, and then I'm going to add a play, and then export. Right. So we have our model, we have our space, put it into assets, and there we go. Now notice how this is, like, it depends on the direction you look at, it's one-sided. And this is a good example of why normals are important. So if that little line in Blender was facing outwards, then when I go on the inside, I wouldn't actually see anything. So normals are super important. Now the reason it's red is because this doesn't have a collider. Now I'm going to create an empty. Because I want to keep these as simple as possible, so I'm going to stick with box colliders for this purpose. Double click to go straight. As much as some people I know really hate me doing this. Now I'm going to keep that depth just so if they're going super fast or anything like that. So we have our floor. That'll be for good for now. And let's get just a point light. Now the reason this has light is because our object, once again, the normal map is one-sided, so the light will go through this one, but it won't go through this one on the floor. So I'm actually going to just reduce this down to like 0.1. So we have our simple light. And there we go. So I'm going to get a feel and see if this is like too small, which it might be. So let's give it a shot. Playground. So it does feel a little small. And we have real-time lights as well, so that's not a good idea, especially with the main one, for example. Well, it's kind of interesting. So for a small space, let's say I want to create a space for my friends, and I want to have maybe 5 to 10 people. So this is way too small for that idea. So maybe double. Now in this case we could actually do this here, so I'm going to put that like literally to double. So 16 by 12, and I might make it 4 meters high. Okay. Same again. I am actually going to all transforms that once again because I've scaled it, and that's one of the things that will sort of do interesting things. And then if we go to Unity, it will be updated. So that's looking much better. So let's do a playground, see how that feels, and then I think this is the space we'll be going for. Yeah. I didn't move the collider. So there's that. So yeah. So I think this is pretty good for a sort of a small hangout space. So I can put a lot more content in this space because it's smaller. So that's the sort of thing I'm going to go for with this. Now we need to update our collider to make sure that it actually gets all there, like so. I'm not going to worry about the walls just yet because it depends on what I do with this space. But we have our space. So, Let's have a look. Let's. Yeah, we can just put that on. Alright, so we need to figure out our space. I'm going to get rid of the camera. And don't need the light as well. So we just got these. Okay. So, what kind of space are we going to focus on? Let's do... I was kind of tempted to do a living room. So just a place to hang out. What's a place that has... I think a small club. Like a really small club would be kind of cool. So, what do we need? We need a bar. So let's put a bar up here. Maybe 1 meter in height for this one. 1, 2 by 9. There we got that. Now, if I recall, this needs to be like 1 meter. What's my bar at? One moment, I'm going to do some measuring. "90 centimeters, incidentally." Yep, we'll do that. Now, do we want... Yeah, let's make a cool bar. Actually, I'm going to make it 1. See how that feels. So let me see. So I'm going to do Control R to add an edge loop. I'm going to do... No, I'm going to do 1. Move it up the top to there. Another one. Move it down the bottom a bit lower there. There. Delete those. And then those 3 and these 3. Holding shift to multi-select and then bridge edge loops. Done. Now these ones I actually want to remove. Once again, we're making it as game ready as possible, meaning that any vertices we don't actually need, we should get rid of. So actually, I'm going to leave that one because I'm going to do some stuff on that side, but that said, I'm going to get rid of this one. Could probably get rid of this one as well. Actually, in this case, I'm going to Alt-click, and that will select the whole edge loop. And then I can just press Delete and dissolve edge, and then we have that. Right. Good, good. Now, on top of that one, I'm going to do 2 of these. So if you, once again, left Control R to add that, use the mouse scroll to add loops if you want to. I just want 2. And then I'm just going to go Y with snap. Actually, no, not snap. We want sort of that. Cool. Now this is purely so I can get this and then extrude that in. Like so. So I could have like a fridge. Alright. And I'm starting to think maybe this is too wide. So I can put that there. Alrighty. Once again, there's a few things we could get rid of, so I'm going to get rid of that one, and then put it to that one at last. And could probably do the same here. And this one, I'm going to actually loop. Oh, no, I'm not. And these two as well. So yeah. Now, unfortunately, we have to do the same thing on this side as well. So that one. Now, the main reason I decided to do a club is basically because of the lights. So it's an easy choice for that sort of effect. All right. Now, as noted, I may have mentioned in the past that we always want to do sort of polygons, if at all possible. So, like, that's a two-sided, that's a two-sided. So it's just a good habit to get into. So I try to keep to that. If anything, it's just good practice, especially with characters. With environments, not as important. But I don't know. I like to do it. There we go. Okay, so we have one bar. Now the next thing we want to do is sort of create, what do we want to do? How can we do cool lighting? Let's try something. I have no idea if this is going to be a good idea or not. But I'm going to do that. So it looks like every 2 meters, which is good. Every 2 meters, which is good. Alright, we're going to put one down the bottom here. And one probably at the top as well. Cool. The floor, probably gonna... Now, once again, I'm clicking on, well, holding left control, and that will select all of the elements that are between 2 points. I'm just going to separate that. I'm going to name it, because naming is important, and I always forget. So I'm going to do that now. Walls. Now the floor, basically I'm going to get rid of these ones. Greenhouse, what do you mean? And I'm actually... yeah, I'm gonna gotta change the roof as well. Or the ceiling, sorry. Alright. So we have all those. Now, the other thing is we need a bar behind this, of course. Fighting cage. Yeah, that could work. Not now that I've cleaned it all up. I should have said that. Well, I think you did. Yeah. Should have said it before I did it. Alright, we're going to grab... Nope, we're going to grab the opposite. So I can do Control I think. Yep. And we're going to use this one to extrude along normals outwards. Like so. Cool. All right, next one, we need a back bar. One. Maybe not 1.7, 0.6, 0.7. Nine. Nine. All right. The other option is actually more of a comedy club. Bar and a comedy club. So like the bar up the back, some seats or stuff to the right, and a stage at the front. Yeah, that might be good. Yeah, let's do that. So this one, yeah, this one. So get the door. This one I'm going to inset faces rather than doing all the things I did on the last one. I'd like that to be sort of like a 0.05, maybe 5 centimeters. Yeah. And then E. And that can be 0.5 meters. Nope. Minus 0.7. 0.6. Dimensions. Okay, cool. Now this is a good example of what happens when you don't auto transform, don't set the transform of an object. So once again, Control A in object mode, you get all transforms. So when you do things like inset and whatnot, it will take the original scale, which is incorrect. So we've got that. So just to show you, so that's without it. And then if I go Control A, all transforms, and then do it again, you'll find that it's like the right level. So make sure that if you're going to do if you've scaled anything and you want to do any of these sort of elements there, make sure that it is that it has been applied, because otherwise you'll get some weird distortions there. Now these two objects are kind of going to be made of the same thing, so I'm actually going to join them. And I'm going to sort of make sure that these line up. Like so. And just make sure I'm going to go scale Z 0, so all those line up. That should be good. Alright, so that's a good start. I'll put some bars and stuff up the top. Let's do that now, I guess. So Shift D to duplicate, Z to go straight up. Maybe 30 centimeters. And this is going to be like 0.01 high. Maybe a bit thin. There we go. Cool. So it looks like the normal maps, the normal direction, sorry, is the right direction, so that's great. And we want a few of those. Hey Brian, how's it going? I'm making things. Is that enough? That'll be enough. Cool. Put a jukebox or something there, maybe. And maybe one more, actually, just below. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. Just building. I have plans, but yeah, this is more of a just a scoping out like Blender and getting a feel for a space, like kind of whiteboxing, to be honest. So let's do all of these things and get a. Actually, let's put the stage as well, because I do want to get a feel for that as well, and then we can sort of do another quick test and see how that feels. So. So we have a slightly raised zone here, maybe 3, 2, maybe 2. That'll do. Scale Y, and then holding down Control. Maybe that. It's a very small scale. So let's make it a bit bigger. Cool. Stage. Ceiling, cube. This is not a cube, it is a bar. Floor, stage, walls. Okay, cool. Let's do them separate. Once again, I'm going to control... Actually, I'm not too sure if Blender's going to do this properly, so I'm going to make sure this is for each. What it will also do is set the transforms to the origin space. So these will be... this will turn up in the space that I want, but if I wanted to make several of these, like if I was making an asset, I would move this to the center and then redo it. So I can move it around properly. So Unity does seem to... I forget if it's from the origin of the space or the origin of the object. I forget which one, but yeah. Anyway. Export, this is the bar. This is the very simple stage. We have our floor this time. I'm going to change this to walls. So I'm actually going to get rid of space because that doesn't really describe it very well. So I'm actually going to name them correctly. Because as soon as you change the name of an asset, here at least, especially here, sorry, the mesh in the space will disappear. And it will kind of break. It's easy to fix, but basically if you name everything correctly from the start, there's less of that messing about. Okay. So we have our space. So as you can see, the space is no longer there, so that dies. The collider is still there, and this is why I actually prefer sometimes to keep colliders as a separate object, because the asset, I might change the asset and things like that. So if I'm using box colliders, I'll keep them as a separate object. So let's drag and drop. Doop. Doop. Too easy. No doubt you will. Alright. So we have our simple space. I'm gonna see how that feels. Saving that, building that. Hey Richard, how's it going? Keeping out of trouble? Or keeping in trouble? One of the two. Okay. Ah. Okay. So that seems... yeah, that's a good height for a bar, I think. If I was working here, that'd be fine. Fridge on one side, fridge on the other. So lots of stuff there. Stage seems a little short, maybe. I can't get on top of it, so I can't feel it. Yeah. But if we had a bunch of seats, like maybe... like a standing area, well, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, that works. Leave that as is. Cool. Alright, so we have our scope, I guess, of this. Now, in this case, I'm going to add just the box collider, because that's the same thing. Well, good luck with it, man. Now, I'm going to actually... do this. I'm going to make that one rooms collider, and then another empty one. Bar. F to focus in, so it messes up like that. And then I can just make that a little bit higher or wider. Now, once I've created that one, which is kind of what I want it to do, I can very easily copy that and paste it. And then drag it to this one. That'll do. And then I'm going to copy that one. And sort of do this. So I've got that. Alright, so we have our bar. I'm going to move that up the top. And the stage can be as is. Yeah, let's add some room, because I think this is roughly what I want to do, and I want to get a feel for it if I go too far and don't fall off. So I'm going to copy that. Paste. Put that up to there. Let's go this way. Like so. Copy that one. We can do that. Copy that. You can notice that the one you copy changes color slightly, like ever so slightly. So you can kind of read which one you are making sometimes. Not going to say every time, just sometimes. Right, and then once again, copy, paste as new. Excellent. Now we also want one on the roof. There's no chance that someone's going to fly up there, but the camera will play a part. So I'm going to move the floor, which was this one. And unfortunately, you can't name them. I wish you could, because that would make things a lot easier. Now I am going to push these a little bit further, so make sure that the camera doesn't like sneak through like the smallest part there. So that is 100% a thing I need to be worried about. That's fine. This one can go across a bit. Yeah. You can press any of these edits for this object and they all become editable, so that is less of a problem. Yeah, that'll do for now. Okay, so we have our room. Cool. Now I'm not going to do light mapping on any of this today, because one of the reasons we're making this is so we can do a light mapping tutorial. So for now, I'm just going to use these two lights on this space. So the next thing we need to do is create sort of a cool lighting element. So, but first I want to fix this. So I'm going to zoom in here and do some cool stuff with this. So let's do that, maybe. I do feel like this needs to be higher though, so I'm going to keep that in mind. But for this one, I'm just going to bridge loops. Done. And yeah, a bit higher, I think. Nope, not all of them, just one of them. Thank you. This one. So maybe 40 centimeters. Sure. And then maybe steps at the back here. Would be kind of cool. We'll do steps up. Yeah, let's do that. So I'm going to scale X, nope, Y. Put it right at the edge. And just have like a steps up there and steps up there. So for that, we're going to do that. Scale the Y direction. Maybe there, there, there. Yeah, just get rid of them. I think it'll be easier if I just get rid of them. And then worry about it. So F to join those two. F to join those two. Okay, so what have I done? I'd like to do that because it looks cool, but I also know that people will trip in real world, so I'm not going to do that. Now it's a bit messy in that area, so I'm just going to just like merge vertices by distance. Put that up to 0.1, and then you've got that, which is kind of not what I want. Now these polygons are not going to be ever seen, so I can actually get rid of those. I can get rid of this one as well. So make sure that if there's an asset that is not going to be seen, to make sure that you just delete it. Yeah, I could have done that much better. But you know, where's the fun in doing things easily when you can do them badly? I'm going to leave that just in case I want to do a different texture, because that may be a case, and I'm going to move that to there. Excellent. There you go. It worked out. I can get rid of that one as well, and that one. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm definitely going to cheat with this one. I'm going to move this into the middle, yep. And then put a mirror on it. Ta-da. Some clipping. There we go. Cool. Let's move that to the back there. Beautiful. It's marvelous. Yep, cool. Then I can apply that and delete that. And delete those as well. There we go. Perfect. That took a lot longer than it needed to, but got there in the end. Excellent. Beautiful. Could not have done it better. Alright, next up we're going to do some UVs. This is probably just the smart UV. And we'll put some different tiled objects or assets on there. So that's fine. And let's make sure that the average step that definitely works is like 2.5, so this is not going to be an issue at all. So 2 and 2, not a problem. Now, sometimes when you got edit and you see a line there, that's because something is not like aligned, and then you just got to make sure that they are. So if I do at center, you'll see that that's probably a better way to do it. I just want to make sure. Yeah, I haven't. I messed this up a lot. Okay, let's try this. All that by distance. That's not good. 0.05. Yeah. 23. Good. So if I delete this one, no issues there. If I delete this one, yeah. So if at first you are not sure, try a merge by distance. That'll be great. Okay. That's the stage. Export. So that's updated. But the collider is not. So I'm actually going to remove it from that and make a new one. Once again, just keeps it clear what's what and easy to update. Now, of course, these would actually be low enough to probably do a mesh collider, but I just like getting into the habit of box colliders. For example, this I could do a ramp instead, but I think for the case of this sort of thing, not important enough. So there we go. And the step as well. Actually, what I might do is that. Less boxes to worry about. So I'm going to get rid of this one, which is that one, because that one's updating. Remove, and then drag that one across. Cool. Done. All right. So we have our space. Now I'd probably put a canvas here so we can sort of have a cool sort of promotion of whatever material is getting done. So let's do that now. So that is under Mona Assets, Canvas Prefab. Put it under the object there. To get close up. Now this is what you don't want. This is sort of called Z fighting, where in the Z depth is what the camera sees. Basically these two polygons are fighting for the position, and both of them are winning. So make sure that you sort of move it a little bit on this side. The thing is, sometimes occasionally when you get further away, there like it starts to fight. Like you can kind of, is it? Yeah. So just make sure that it's out enough when doing that sort of thing. So yeah, can be small, but just like you can't really notice it easily. Now in this case, I'm actually going to make this pretty big. Now notice if you're doing a canvas, I'm going to unpack this so I can edit this without too much trouble. And the size is based on this one. So I'm actually going to scale this one to about there. And just because that's what we want. So once again, if it's a landscape, it'll kind of take up that white space. If it's a portrait, it'll take up that space. Or if the owner of the space wants to set it as a square and leave it, it'll crop. I just want to work, man. Okay, cool. Next. What next? Yeah, I don't know. Kind of done everything. The rest is like texturing and stuff, which I could do. Also need to kind of separate this and this because I want that line above to be a different texture. So that's in Blender. So I'm going to go to the walls. I was gonna do some, like, if it was a nightclub, I was gonna do some interesting stuff with different panels, but I think I'm gonna get rid of them this time. So let's get rid of all of these, because I think that concept has changed. Delete, dissolve. Cool. The next thing we do is we just want that here. Well, let's do this. So I've got a material, and let's do wall, and then we're gonna add one and do light. And then assign, just to make sure we know which one's which. You have to go to here, here. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Everyone's against me. Right, so let's save out the walls again. Now, this is the thing that Blender does do with materials. It will save the color if you do it, so you can sort of see where you're going with those two. But of course, I will replace those with other assets. But it does give you an idea. I also want one, a light under here. So let's sort of hide that one. Hide the ceiling, because we don't need that. And go with this one. Dot on the numpad. And we want sort of this one. Yeah. Now this doesn't have anything applied, so I'm going to just do wall. So that's there. Plus, and then light. And then assign. Like so. Let's check the UVs on this one. Yeah, I'm going to make sure that, one, I'm going to set that to all transforms, so when I do smart UV project, they are all accurate. So that's what we want. Okay. Export that as stage. Check that out. Good. Do we want some on the floorboards as well? Maybe? Kind of think we do, but we'll leave it for now. We also want one under the bar. So to keep that sort of flow. I probably don't want too much, so I'm going to add that maybe to there, and then just join this. And once again, apply the wall, which is not really accurate. That'll probably be chrome, but yeah, for this point, it kind of doesn't matter as much. That one. Sign. We probably want these as well. Maybe to there. No, I don't want the edge. Oh, do I want... No, I don't think I don't want the edge. So I'm going to go to the top. And just select these. No. These ones. And not that one. So the edges I don't want, but I do want the top and the bottom. So we're going to do assign to that. Okay. Then we have a bar. Once again, all transforms, UV, grab all that. That's clearly not done, so I'm going to smart UV project that. This is, what is this? This is the bar. All right. So I have our basic space. Alright, so that's got light, that's got light. This might be too much light. Yeah, I think it's a bit too much. So I'm gonna put the walls in again. Well, it looks like the top and the bottom are different, so I'm gonna... Alright. Those are the walls. Cool, much better. Alright, I think this canvas can go up slightly. There we go. There we go, have a comedy club, basically. Now it looks like something's going on. No, that's right. Oh, it's just the shadows, okay. There we go. Alrighty. Next up, we kind of need maybe like a microphone. I feel like that's a thing we might put up. If it's a comedy thing, I might do a stool. I might add that to the library as well. So maybe a couple of more assets that I could make for the library, which would be quite useful. I'm not sure this could be in the corner or in the middle. Or just the whole thing. I kind of like it there, and then I could put something here. So we've got that. Okay. Now, what else can we do? I might do some fridge doors. Make that a bit more complete. So we can get rid of the ceiling. We don't need the floor. These two sort of things are what we need at the moment. So, how can I make a door really easily? Okay. So I'm going to grab that, and that, and that, and that. Shift delete. X is the way out. We sort of want that distance. For now, I'm actually going to separate that though. Just so we can mess about with that a little bit. So that can go down, down, down. That one. We can move that across. So that's a G and an X. Nope, G and a Y. Once again, holding Alt to select a whole edge, and then Shift to select to duplicate or connect. Hang on. Alt to select a loop, and Alt Shift to select another loop. E, Y to go, no, X to go backwards. Put that about there. And once again, we don't need a backing because you will never see it. Kind of want a little bit in and a little bit in, maybe a little bit more, and then we can just duplicate all of that. Nearly perfect, therefore perfect enough. I can just move it up the top end, and that's all we need. Excellent. Now I'm hoping we can actually just flip that. So I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate, X to go that direction, R to rotate, and there we go. And then I'm going to put like a simple plane behind that with glass, and then we have our finished fridge. So I can join that again now. So that's all one. It's not a door, it's a bar. And then, yeah, a couple of, like a plane. Now for this object, yeah, I could just do simple planes. So let's add a plane. A little bit forward, I think. GY, no, GX. To the middle of that. Cool. Then duplicate that again. there. Rotate. Once again, paying attention to the normal direction, because otherwise it won't be seen on that direction. So, so this one is a new one. I'm going to call this glass, and I'm going to make this purple. Cool. So I get that and that, join, and we have our bowl. Once again, every single time, I just get into the habit of now. It's super easy, super quick, but does save some issues later on. Okay, so in this case, I think we could probably start getting some basic materials, I think. So let's do that. We need 4 material. Let's do glass. Let's just duplicate that. 2, 3, 4. Let's do metal chrome. Let's do wood. And let's do glow. Let's start with white, I guess. Okay, so glass, that's the standard. We need transparent. I think the difference, and feel free if anyone knows better, Fade doesn't use, I think it's reflection probes, and transparent does. I think that's it. I'm not too sure. But yeah, so I'm gonna put that on there. Transparent, blue, smoothness is quite high. I'm gonna go with about 8.8. Metallic makes it look good. Now I'm gonna grab the asset, and I'm actually gonna put it here, and this is why we name it. So we've got glass. So I'm gonna put the glass, and then go apply, and then that updates it accordingly, which is what we want. Let's do chrome. So, and this is why wall is incorrect. So I could name it, but I'm not going to. And then we've got light, which was glow white, which I haven't done anything with yet, but we will. So chrome, once again, metallic, 0.7. Change this a little bit to gray, maybe a little bit of blue, like so. Cool. Glow white, we want emission, and let's just make it white with intensity of 2. Cool. We have our bar. Now we can do the same with the other assets. So we want our ceiling. No, let's just do the floor. That can be wood. Yep. Apply. Walls though. Sorry, walls. Here we go. Let's add a glow to the glow. And let's make a new one. Oops, apply. I'm just going to call this wall for now. And make it dark gray. Why not? Go back to our walls, and then there we go. Apply. Cool. Now we haven't set this one up properly, so I'm going to go back and set the materials up on this one. So we need another one, which is kind of wood, which is going to be brown. Cool. And we want this to be these ones and these ones, and maybe this one. Yeah, but I want to add that line there. Okay, we'll just leave it at that then. Sign. Cool. Excellent. So, stage. None, none, none. So we got glow, light, wall. Is that a... Nope, not a material. Wood, we'll put on wood. And let's do just walls and see how that goes. Okay. With our wood texture, I'm just going to quickly make that brown. There we go. Cool. And should we make the ceiling dark? Let's find out. Walls. Cool. Dark and movie, I guess. We'll see how that looks. So we'll get the wood in there and let's see what that looks like. We'll get some scratches and stuff on the chrome, so that looks better. Now this is super low polygon, so I'm kind of interested to see. I might add some like really fine chamfers around the assets because we can afford to with this one, and then put most of it into lighting, so really good lighting with some assets there. So that could work. Alrighty, what else we got? Once again, I don't want to add reflection. Like normally, I would probably start putting in reflection probes, light probes, and baking now just to get a better feel for it. But once again, I'm making a space for those tutorials, so I'm actually like trying, and it's quite hard because I'm used to just really doing a quick light map, bake or reflection probe just to see what this looks like. But we can't really do that because I need to focus on that. So let's see. Do I have a wooden texture somewhere? Actually, no. Let's go find one. So I find what's it called? On the docks, there was a really good resource that I actually really liked. So resources, textures. Which one was it? Was it this one? Maybe? Was it this one? No, not this one. Let's check them both. So that's nice, but I want planks, kind of like this, but like this one maybe. Not wooden. I need that. So where's the there, first one. Okay, suddenly got some wood. Kind of like this, but darker brown. Oh, this is cool. This one. That's interesting though. I think Substance does work in Unity. I don't know if it works in Mona though, so that's an interesting one. Rustic is kind of cool. We do a floor tile like this one. Scratchy like this one. I don't mind this one actually. A lot of wood. I think this one. Let's have a look at it. Yeah. 2K definitely maximum. We could probably get away with like 1K, but I'm gonna get to 2K and then scale it as we need to. going to go with PNG because it's usually a little bit higher quality, but it does look higher. So we'll see. Let's go with this one. Download, please. There we go. Save. I'm going to put this directly in the asset that we need. So build, space, assets, textures. Sure. Go away. Alright. Did it not like that one? Sure. Now that is a zip, so I'm going to have to unzip it, I think. Oh, no. Alright. Extract here. Now we can actually get rid of this one. Now we need to get, like, we don't need most of these, so I'm going to get rid of displacement. I think DirectX is the one we need. USD can get rid of. Preview we can get rid of. We just need color, normal, and roughness, and then we might need to flip that because we're using Unity. So I think that's what we need. Let's give that a shot. So, textures. Yep, that needs to go back up to white. Normal map can go there. Fix now. And as you can see, the texture size is fine. Is a bit big. That's because we unwrapped it, and this is the size of like the 2K texture. So let's add that. Yeah, that's nice. So we could either take it into Blender and redo the tiling, or we can just do more tiles here. So now you will notice that these two are different because the tiling is different. So if I wanted to, let's do 20. I think that's good. But we will need to increase the size of this one. Now, we don't want to duplicate this material and do a different tile, because then that would be two different materials, which is not very good for the, what would you call it? The thing that does the stuff. I forget the thing. So it's too small, so we need to make this bigger. So let's go maybe about there. Now I don't need to move this down, that's fine. But what I might do is I might sort of put it at the end here, just to sort of get that neatness of it, at least on those two. And export that again. This is, what is this? This is the stage. I think I did it the wrong way. Okay. So let's try that again. So smaller, we need to make it smaller. Yeah, that's better. Okay. So is that aligned? No, maybe a bit bigger. Which means this is a bit smaller, I think. Now, because I just saved it with that, I don't have to actually worry about this anymore, so I'm just going to export. Yeah. Excellent. So that is now one material. It's not necessarily one draw call, but it's definitely not two textures and things like that. So you always want to try and reduce the amount of textures, or sorry, the materials that you're using, just so it can sort of, Unity can sort of combine them together sometimes when you put them as static and things like that. So quite useful with that sort of thing. All right, so next up we have, okay, let's get a good chrome. So we've got a metal, processed shiny. Ah, wood shiny. No, we just want shiny. A marble. Oh, not so much shiny. An ice. That'd be kind of cool. Alright, we need... Let's just do metal and see what happens. Okay. Now, if we're going sort of like a wooden approach, maybe we want kind of like a darker metal. Or like industrial metal. That'd be kind of interesting. Or dirty metal. That's kind of cool. That one's winning so far. I've seen a lot of bars do this now. It's like just like really sort of grimy, grungy, metallic. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I like this one. The thing is also, because it's not super shiny, the reflection probe can be a lot smaller. So this will be really good for file size as well. Yeah, let's give it a shot. Cool. Extract here. Delete that one. Once again, get rid of the ones we don't need. So metalness we'll keep. OpenGL, get rid of that, rid of that. Cool. Alrighty. Now for this one, let's make this the metal chrome. Metal color. Yeah, alright. Metal metalness. Ah, that's a different thing we have to make in what do you call it? Photoshop. Let's tile this one. Let's do like maybe 5. Maybe 10. Yeah, I think that's alright. Now you do sort of see a pattern forming very quickly because of this nature. So what I'm going to try and do actually is grab our this smart UV packet again, and then kind of just rotate it about there and see if that makes it look less repetitive. Like so. So you sort of see like it's not as obvious, especially if I do lighting and add some other things in there. So that's it's one of many approaches in order to sort of do that. Now we have smoothness and metallic. So I'd like to fix this. So for that, we're actually going to get into some Photoshop. Oh, it's okay. So I won't worry about that. Adobe, be better. Now, why is that not liking that? So C's are there. Oops, no. Why is it red? Interesting. Not too sure why that is. But, yeah. Anyway. The other thing I want to do, actually, is the spawn point artifact. So, if and when... well, when we add that functionality so I can link to this canvas, I don't want to... If someone is giving a presentation, I don't want them to turn up while someone is giving a presentation. Or, like, a comedy club. So, I'm going to actually move that out here. Maybe over here, actually. Now, on the current template, we have this line that is the direction of where the spawn point is facing. So we sort of want to put that way. Maybe, basically directly at it. And that'll be fine. Also might want to move that down a bit so it doesn't fall so far. Now, the main thing I want to do is I want to make sure that that line is above. So you can see it. That is above, that is below. So I will usually put the bottom of the box. So you'll fall a little bit of the difference, but that's fine. So that's that. Okay. So we have our bar, we have our wood, we have our ceiling. I think we do need a different color in walls, so let's change that to, I don't know. Let's do like a light gray. That should do for now. We'll see how that goes. Man, there are so many ways to become famous now. Okay. All right. So yeah, now I'd like to do some interesting things with lighting or like neon lights along the walls. But I think I need to get a better idea of what this space looks like as it stands. So I'm going to leave that as is. But yeah, there's definitely enough sort of idea to sort of get a feel for what we're going with here. Dirty metal. What is dirty? Now the reason I do that is I want to do a foot stand here because that's a pretty common thing. So I'm going to put another object. Yeah, I might as well do it now. So let's have a look. I'm going to add a cylinder. Now this is like 32. Now this asset, this foot kickstand thing is not very important. You probably won't really see it, so I'm actually going to go 6. And smooth it, and then that should probably be fine. So I'm going to rotate that way, and go back, scale that really far down, go here. So I've got that. Now, in this case, we're actually going to go shade smooth, but we don't want that because the edges, we don't want them. So I'm going to mark sharp and do normals, auto smooth. and put this up higher, so like 90. So then you've got the mark sharp that does that, and then this can be smooth. And then we can just scale it up on the Y. Or grab it here and move that on the Y. Maybe a little on the inside. Like so. Which is what we want. Now, once again, this is sort of mostly in reality, I guess you could say. So I'm going to add a cube. Move that over here, scale it down. To about there. Move it up. Move that down. I'm also going to get rid of the top and the bottom because those will not be seen. The back one probably won't as well, but yeah, we'll leave it as is. And then need one at the end there. Shift D. Need one at that end. And maybe every 2. So we've got 2, 4, 6, 2 and a bit. Okay, hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 4.5 is there. Duplicate. So 4.5, 2.25 there. 2.25 there. Now we want to join those two. Join. And then let's go near and call this one Chrome. And make this one gray. Cool. Join that. Now we need to make sure that that one is chrome, which we don't have yet. So I'm going to glass. Make that opaque again. Make that like slightly dark, I think it is. The alpha needs to be full because it's not that. Metallic and 0.9. Back to the bar, and metal chrome. Apply. Looks good. Okay, so that's basically the space I'll be looking at today. Apart from that, I'll probably be, once again, making the tutorial, seeing how that looks with the lights. I'll need to put some lights on the roof, or the ceiling, sorry. I'll put some lights inside the bar, and then we can get a feel for the space and if that's right. And then I'll be looking at texturing and all that sort of stuff. So this was a quick introduction basically to a whole space, and my approach to dealing with how I would go about creating a space from nothing. Even changing the goal from like a club to like a comedy club or a small presentation space with a bar. So yeah, that's basically an hour and 45 minutes to make this. Now in 15 minutes I could quite easily add a quick light map, a reflection probe, and some light probes to get this sort of space sort of laid out. So once those tutorials are made, I will probably continue this either in the workshop or the build and chill. So I'll look into that. That said, I'm probably going to wrap it up there for the evening. But let's do a quick test and see how it's feeling. Don't know why that's red. I'm going to have to look into that. I feel there's something going on with a collider somewhere. But yeah. So as you can see, this is really dark. That's partially because there's no reflection probe to sort of check with that, I think, because these are all reflective assets. So there's that. But yeah, nice kind of space for small presentations. So I'll probably add a door as well. I might put a door there. That might actually be a really good place for a door. So I'll do that. So yeah. Okay. We'll wrap it up there for now. And have a good day. And happy building. See ya.